Hi everyone, let's take a look at the following example. Solve for x. On the left hand side, there's a bracket, x plus 1 close bracket times open bracket, x plus 2 close bracket, the entire product divided by in brackets x minus 3 times in brackets x minus 4. And again, the entire expression on the left hand side is less than or equal to 0. Step 1, we're going to show you a shortcut, and the shortcut looks something like this. We're going to multiply the left-hand side and the right-hand side by x minus 3 quantity square times x minus 4 quantity square. So number 1, what we do on the left, we do on the right. Number 2, notice these are positive numbers because I'm squaring both brackets. And when you multiply both sides by a positive term, the sign less or equal to does not change. Again, on the right-hand side, 0 times a non-zero will still give you 0. On the left-hand side, though, you end up with x minus 3 times x minus 4 times x plus 1 times x plus 2. The difficult part is now over. You can draw a line, and of course, before we do that, I invite you to do one more step with me. This ideally will help you stay organized. So I'm going to copy x plus 2, then x plus 1, then x minus 3, then x minus 4. And the reason for that is because when you draw this number line, look what happens. There's negative 2, there's negative 1, there's 3, and 4. And when you recognize on the left-hand side, it's a polynomial, which is positive even. Again, how do we know that? I'll grab a different color for you. When you expand on this, notice the leading coefficient is going to be 1 times x squared, and that's going to be positive even. And when you recognize it's positive even, the and behaviors is going to go from quadrant number 2 to quadrant number 1. The fact that the order of each term is going to be 1, it's going to cut right through. So it's going to look, roughly speaking, something like that. And again, your goal is to find out what happens when this is going to be less than or equal to 0, which means it's going to be when x is in between negative 2 and 1, or when x is in between 3 and 4. Now be mindful, there's also this equal sign. So you got to go back and recognize again, if you start with the restriction, let's write down the word restriction for you. The restrictions are x cannot be 3 and it cannot be 4. So you can go back and draw the circles here, of course. But x could be negative 1, so you draw a dot. X could be negative 2, you can draw a dot. So this means, again, if you look at your final answer, therefore, x is in between negative 2 and negative 1 inclusive, or x is in between 3 and 4 exclusive. If you find this video meaningful and is adding value to your math life, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. I hope this makes sense.